Outlander Season 8 is not just the end of Jamie and Claire's epic journey, the unraveling of secrets that were never supposed to be uncovered, and in the middle of it all, a lullaby from the past, a daughter they mourned, and a promise that even death cannot silence. If you thought Outlander was just a love story, think again. Season 8 changes everything. After 8 emotional, thrilling, and heart-wrenching seasons, Outlander stands on the edge of its final goodbye. And if you're expecting closure, think again, because what the trailer just revealed might break us before it even begins. The haunting words spoken by Jamie, "If my last words are not, I love you. It's because I didn't have time," set the tone for what's coming. This isn't just about love anymore. It's about sacrifice, betrayal, and the return of something or someone they thought was long lost. Yes, the final season picks up right where Season 7 shattered our hearts. Claire, still reeling from her near-death experience and the trauma of being wrongfully accused, is thrown into yet another storm. But this time, it's not war or politics that will break her. It's something much closer to the heart, a face from her past that shouldn't even be alive. Season 7 left us with the shocking reveal of Fanny Picciotha, young girl singing that lullaby, the one Claire used to sing to Faith, her baby girl who died in France. Or did she? That final moment wasn't just a haunting callback. It was a challenge to everything Claire believed. A lullaby that echoed through time and cracked open a mystery that even she didn't see coming. And now, the trailer is fueling that fire. Because in Season 8, we aren't just revisiting Claire's grief, we're revisiting the truth. Master Raymond, the elusive healer who disappeared without explanation, appears once more this time. Not in body, but in Claire's dream. And we've learned to take dreams seriously in Outlander. They're never just dreams. Raymond's apology in that feverish vision wasn't a coincidence. It was a confession. Behind-the-scenes whispers hint at a flashback that will rock us all, a moment where Raymond saves Faith, faking her death and spiriting her away from danger. Why? And why now? Season 8 promises to answer that, but only after dragging us through every emotion possible. What's even more devastating is how this revelation threatens to destroy the very foundation Jamie and Claire built together. Claire spent years living with the pain of losing her child. Jamie stood by her through it all. But if they find out Faith was alive this entire time, what does that do to them? Can Claire forgive those who lied to her? Can Jamie forgive himself for the choices he made in ignorance? And what about Fanny, this girl caught in the chaos of a legacy she never asked for? The emotional stakes are higher than ever. This isn't just a reunion. It's a reckoning, and it forces our beloved characters to face their own ghosts. But that's not all Season 8 is offering. The war may be reaching its end, but the personal battles are just beginning. Because if the trailer made anything clear, it's this: Jamie and Claire's love story will end not with peace, but with purpose. Whether that purpose is to protect Faith, each other, or the truth, we'll have to wait and see. And then there's Lord John Grethaman, who once called Jamie his closest friend, and later married Claire in his absence. That betrayal broke something in Jamie that may never heal. The trailer gives us only a flash of Lord John, but even that was enough. The tension in his eyes, the grief, the guilt, and rumors are swirling. Will he make the ultimate sacrifice to earn back Jamie's respect? Will he lay down his life for the man he's always loved from a distance? It would be a poetic end, but one that would leave fans shattered, no matter how Season 8 unfolds. One thing is certain, we are not walking into a peaceful farewell. We are walking into a storm, one built on years of love lies, time travel, and fate catching up. And by the time the final episode airs, Outlander won't just have ended. It will have changed everything we thought we knew. ChatGPT said, Season 8 doesn't just mark an ending, it unearths the consequences of choices made long ago, and forces every character to confront the truth they tried so hard to bury. For Claire, that truth is Faith. The daughter she held once, the child she mourned every single day, and the piece of her heart she believed was gone forever. The trailer hints that her journey this season won't be about finding peace, be about seeking answers. Who took her child? Why was she never told the truth? And how can a mother reclaim something that time itself seemed to steal? The inclusion of Master Raymond is not accidental. He's always been that strange, mystical force in Claire's life, half science, half magic, and all mystery. His apology in her fevered dream isn't a metaphor, it's a breadcrumb, a link to something bigger. And if behind-the-scenes leaks are accurate, Raymond's involvement goes deeper than anyone ever expected. Not only did he save Faith, he may have hidden her on purpose, to protect her from something far darker than we ever imagined. A power, perhaps, that reaches beyond time. One that explains why so many moments in this show feel like they were meant to happen. In that sense, Raymond wasn't just protecting Faith. He was preserving destiny. But whose destiny and why? These are the questions Claire must now answer. And while she's known for her strength and determination, this mystery will test her in ways nothing else has. Because behind the science and logic she's always trusted, Claire is now forced to face something more dangerous. The possibility that everything she believes about time and life and death might be incomplete. Meanwhile, Jamie's burden grows heavier. For him, Season 8 will be the final reckoning of everything he's endured, not just in war, but in love. Watching him in the trailer, stoic, silent, and gazing into Claire's eyes, we see a man who knows the end is near. Not just of the revolution, but of the life they built. And those words, if my last words are not, I love you, aren't just romantic. They're tragic. Because they signal what's to come. A farewell, maybe even a death. And while Jamie has always been the warrior, the protector, and the beating heart of this story, Season 8 shows us that even warriors must one day rest. The question is, will he get that peace beside Claire? Or will fate tear them apart one final time? Amid all this emotional chaos, there's another storyline threatening to explode. Lord John Grey. His betrayal in Season 7 marrying Claire. While believing Jamie was dead wasn't just scandalous, it was personal. And even though we understand that he acted from grief and desperation, Jamie's sense of loyalty and honor was deeply wounded. Now, Lord John returns, and the silence between them says more than words ever could. Fans are already speculating about how this rift could be healed, if it can be healed at all. The leading theory, Lord John may sacrifice himself in the end. Whether to protect Jamie, or Claire, or even Faith, this act would be the final redemption. For a character who's always walked the tightrope between duty and desire, it would also be a devastating goodbye, one that fans are bracing for, but will never be ready to accept. What makes this even more painful is that every character in Season 8 seems to be staring at their own ending. And endings in Outlander are never simple. They're layered with memory, with grief, and with the aching knowledge that time can never be undone. Season 8's trailer gives us glimpses of war's aftermath, of families torn apart, and of a legacy on the brink of collapse. The Frasers are no longer just fighting battles with muskets and bayonets. They're fighting the collapse of everything. They've built Brianna and Roger, scattered across time, Ian caught between his Native American family and his Scottish bloodline, Fergus and Marsali still healing from the traumas of seasons past, and all of them carrying the scars of a war that was never just physical, it was emotional, spiritual, and deeply personal. The trailer may only be seconds long, but its emotional weight lingers. Claire's face when she sees Fanny, Jamie's voice when he speaks those final words. These are the clues that Season 8 will not be about victory. It will be about acceptance, and about the kind of love that survives everything, even loss. Outlander has always been more than just a period drama. It's a story about time, and what time does to people. And in this final chapter, time is coming full circle. The decisions made in Paris, the secrets buried in Scotland, and the lives rebuilt in America, they all come crashing together now. And no one will come out of it unchanged. But the emotional weight of Season 8 doesn't just come from long-lost daughters or broken friendships. It comes from time itself closing in. The trailer quietly reminds us that time travel has always been the core of Outlander's magic. And now, that power is more dangerous than ever. The question echoing through every moment of the final season is this: what if time itself doesn't want them to win? Claire has crossed through centuries, defied death, rewritten fate, but every time she changes the past, the future fights back. And now, with Faith's possible return, time seems to be unraveling in ways no one expected. There's a theory spreading among fans, one that's as terrifying as it is fascinating, that the reappearance of Faith is not just a miracle, but a ripple effect caused by too much interference with the timeline. That Claire, Roger, Brianna, even Master Raymond, all of them have twisted time so tightly that now it's beginning to snap. And what happens when time tries to correct itself? People disappear, lives are erased. History rewrites itself. That lullaby wasn't just a memory, it was a warning. Season 8 could finally reveal that time travel in Outlander isn't the blessing it once seemed. It's a curse. And the cost is coming due. The stones that once offered hope and second chances may now demand payment. And if the trailer's cryptic flashes mean anything, that payment could be Claire herself. There's a moment just a second where we see her standing alone, a tear falling down her face, while voices whisper in the background. It doesn't look like now, it looks like then, as if she's being pulled backwards, perhaps one last time. And the chilling question hangs in the air. Is Claire going to be forced back to her own time? Torn away from Jamie forever? Outlander has played with time before, but never like this. This season, time isn't just the backdrop, it's the enemy. And it's not just Claire who might be affected. Roger and Brianna's journey through time continues to spiral in terrifying directions. They've already faced near death in the past, the trauma of leaving their children behind, and the burden of knowing too much. But now, Season 8 teases something darker. A moment where Brianna says, "We should have never come back." What did they see? What did they change? And what price will they pay? Even more mysterious is the inclusion of Amaranthus Grey, the newest character who seems to hold more secrets than answers. Played by Carla Woodcock, Amaranthus is rumored to be connected to both Lord John and Faith. But how? Some fans believe she's a guardian, someone Master Raymond trusted to raise Faith in hiding. Others think she's something else entirely, a time traveler, a descendant from another line. All we know is that her presence sets off a chain reaction that sends everyone spiraling. And if she is connected to Faith, then she may hold the key to everything. That would explain why Claire seems both comforted and shaken by her. Because Amaranthus represents the future, the one Claire never got to see. But with that future now stepping into the present, it forces Claire to ask the one question she's never dared to voice out loud. If Faith has lived her whole life without me, am I still her mother? That emotional dilemma is the heart of this season. Because this isn't just about reunions, it's about identity, about belonging, and about whether love is enough to close the gap that time created. Meanwhile, the battlefield may be quieter, but the war is not over. Jamie continues to lead, not with swords, but with soul. He's no longer the fiery young Highlander who charged into every fight. He's older, wiser, and carrying the weight of everything he's lost. But when he holds Claire's hand in the trailer and says, "I have no regrets," we know what that means. He's ready for whatever fate brings, even if it's goodbye. Whether Jamie dies in Claire's arms, or they're pulled apart by the forces of time, or they simply choose to walk away from the chaos together, the ending is near. And that's what makes every second of this final season feel sacred. Every word, every touch, every look, these are the last moments we'll have with them. And the cast knows it, too. Their interviews reflect that bittersweet truth. Sam Heughan said it best. "We've given everything. Now it's time to let go." And we, the audience, have no choice but to do the same. But there's still one last twist looming. A detail so subtle, yet so powerful, it could shift the entire story. Some believe that Frank Randall, the man we thought was long gone, may still have a role to play. Not as a living character, but as a shadow from the past. His connection to time travel, his obsession with history, his relationship with Claire, they've all been strangely quiet since his departure. Too quiet. And in a show like Outlander, silence often means something big is coming. The trailer shows old journal pages being burned, documents hidden in the walls of Brook, secrets finally surfacing. And if Frank left behind anything at all that can alter Claire's decisions, then Season 8 might not just rewrite the future, it might rewrite the past. Asterisk. But what truly makes Outlander Season 8 unforgettable isn't just the possibility of long-lost daughters or the collapse of time, it's the raw human cost of everything that's happened. Every character we've followed for years now stands at a crossroads, their futures more uncertain than ever. Claire, once so grounded in science and reason, now finds herself surrounded by forces she can't fully understand. Her dreams, her visions, the strange echoes of the past bleeding into the present, they all point to something larger than her. Something that suggests her role in history is far from accidental. She was chosen, or perhaps placed, to walk this path. And now that path is closing. In the trailer, we see her hands trembling, clutching a letter. Her voice cracks as she says, "I was never meant to survive all this." That one line sends a chill down the spine, because it tells us everything we need to know. Claire isn't just a traveler through time anymore. She's a witness, a survivor, and maybe, just maybe, a sacrifice. The emotional toll of this story has never been heavier. And it's not just Claire carrying that burden. Jamie, too, shows signs of just physical, but spiritual. His battles are no longer fought on bloody fields, but in the quiet moments where he tries to protect the people he loves. He's always known how dangerous the world is. But now, with the possibility of Faith returning and history crumbling around them, Jamie seems ready to lay down his sword for good. The trailer shows him looking at Lelybrock from a distance, his home, his past, his legacy. But there's something haunted in his eyes, as if he knows he won't return. Fans are already speculating that Jamie may choose to stay behind in time while Claire is pulled forward. Others believe he may die a hero's death, shielding his family one last time. But no matter the outcome, it's clear. Jamie's story is coming to a close, and it's going to hurt at the same time. Season 8 doesn't forget the rest of the Fraser family. Brianna and Roger, who once tried to build a life away from the Stones, are pulled back into the chaos. Their journey in Season 7 left us with more questions than answers. Their children, scattered across timelines. Their marriage, strained by choices no ordinary couple would ever have to face. But now, in the final season, they face the ultimate question. Can they undo the damage time 'tis done to their family? Or will they have to accept that some losses cannot be recovered? There's a moment in the trailer, brief but unforgettable, where Brianna reaches for a door, and behind it, we see a figure that looks like her son. But is it really him? Or is time playing tricks again? This kind of emotional manipulation is what Outlander does best. It makes you hope, even when hope feels impossible. And then there's Ian Poor. Loyal Ian, whose heart has been broken more times than anyone should endure. He lost love, he lost culture. He found it again in unexpected places. And through it all, he stayed true. Season 8 finally gives Ian a story of his own, one filled with danger, devotion, and perhaps redemption. There are whispers that Ian may be the one to uncover the final truth about Master Raymond, that his time among native tribes gave him access to knowledge even Claire never had. If that's true, then Ian might become the final protector of this timeline. The one who ensures that whatever happens with Faith, with Claire, with the Stones, he will be there to carry the Fraser legacy forward. It's a heavy role, but one he's earned. And in a show where the future is always uncertain, Ian's strength might be the last thing holding it together. But just when you think you've prepared yourself for every twist, Outlander pulls another thread, one that's been hiding in plain sight. Letters, dozens of them, hidden across the years, messages sent through time. Some from Jamie, some from Claire, and just one seems to be from Faith herself. If this is true, then Faith not only survived, but knew who she was, knew where she came from, and chose to stay away. Why was she protecting herself or protecting her parents? That kind of choice cuts deeper than any sword, because it means that this reunion, if it happens, won't be simple. It won't be sweet. It will be painful, full of guilt, misunderstanding, and longing. And that's what makes Season 8 so devastatingly beautiful. It's not just about time travel. It's about healing. And not all wounds want to be healed. As we near the final stretch of this journey, the lines between past and present, truth and dream, memory and prophecy all begin to blur. Outlander is no longer a story about surviving the past. It's about facing it. And when Claire and Jamie do, we will too, whether they walk into the future hand in hand or are forced to say goodbye once more. The love they've shared for 8 seasons will remain the heart of it all. That's what makes this season so different. It's not about saving the world. It's about saving each other. And maybe, in the end, that's what time was always trying to teach them. *ChatGPT said, and now, as we step into the final chapter of Outlander, the one thing that becomes painfully clear is that closure will not come easily. Season 8 is not just an ending, it's a mirror held up to every heartbreak, every sacrifice, every impossible choice Claire and Jamie have made over the years. And in that mirror, we don't just see a love story, we see the weight of legacy. Because beyond the battles, the time jumps, and the centuries of pain, this season asks the one question we've all been afraid to confront. When it all ends, what will they leave behind? The trailer offers one final promise, one last echo of their bond. Jamie whispers, "You gave me a life I never thought I'd have." It's not just a farewell. It's an acknowledgement of everything they built together, across time, against all odds. And whether they live or die, whether they are reunited with Faith or torn apart again, their love has already changed the world around them. That is what this story has always been about. Not just survival, but impact. Not just romance, but resilience. And the legacy they leave behind doesn't just live in their children. It lives in all of us who have watched them grow, suffer, and rise. It lives in Brianna's strength, in Roger's loyalty, in Ian's courage. It lives in every choice Claire made when she stood against injustice. It lives in Jamie's unwavering honor, even when it cost him everything. And most of all, it lives in the mystery of time itself, because if Outlander has taught us anything, it's that love does not belong to one moment. It stretches across years, across lifetimes. It survives death, it survives time. So even if this is the end of their story on screen, it will never truly be over. Every look, every kiss, every whispered I love you was part of something far greater than a romance. It was a statement, a declaration that even history couldn't erase. And as the screen fades to black in the final episode, that message will echo louder than ever. But before that final scene arrives, there are still secrets to be uncovered. There are still goodbyes to be said. There's still the unanswered question of what happens to Faith. Does she accept Claire as her mother? Does she forgive those who kept her hidden? Does she even remember who she is? And what about the future of time travel itself? Do the stones remain open? Or does something or someone shut them forever to protect what remains? These questions won't just shape the ending. They will define what kind of world Claire and Jamie leave behind. A world where truth matters, where love is louder than war, and where time doesn't get to decide who we are. That's what fans have waited years for. And now, finally, we're getting answers. Of course, the final season also sets the stage for what comes next. Blood of My Blood, the prequel series premiering in August 2025, promises to explore the origins of both Jamie and Claire's families, offering us a deeper understanding of where their strength came from. And with younger versions of characters like Dougal, Colum, and Jocasta stepping into the spotlight, fans will get to witness the making of the legacy that Jamie and Claire carried forward. It's not just a spin-off, it's a continuation, a way for the story to breathe again, even as we say goodbye to the ones who carried it for so long. That's the beauty of Outlander. It doesn't just end, it transforms. And even after that final shot fades, the journey will still go on. So yes, Outlander Season 8 is the end. But it's also the beginning of a deeper, more emotional journey into what it means to love across time. Claire and Jamie may not survive in the way we hope. Their story may close with heartbreak, or with peace, or perhaps both. But one thing is certain, they have already won, because love like theirs does not die. It doesn't vanish with the ticking of a clock or the shifting of centuries. It lives in memory, in legacy, in us. And when that final moment comes, when Jamie looks into Claire's eyes one last time, and she whispers, "I will find you, no matter where," we'll know that the heart of Outlander will beat on forever.